Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To some and peace out there. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. Uh, First off, let me thank those who came through on the Cash App more recently. You know who you are. I mentioned you before, but I wanted to tell y'all that I do appreciate it. It has helped with more than what I expected. Um, the other thing too is that I do recommend that you all go to buy me a coffee because I'm still putting things on there I'm not going to put on here. If you want to know about a two-step strategy against alimony, then I have one on there. And it's not really, the secret is not really about the first step. The second step is where the actual strategy is. That's where you get ahead. That's where you go from checkers to chess. Um, I heard a short clip of Abba saying something about Passport Bros. Now, I'm SYSBM. Passport Bros is not gate kept as well as far as I know. It's not that everyone is one. It's just that it's not as gate kept as far as I know because there has to be a essential core and there has to be a definition for people to meet. I'm not in favor of whites being able to be called Passport Bros. They are Passport Joes. Our concerns are not identical. They're related to each other. I am in favor, though, of Passport Bros not being blamed for things that they didn't do. And I am in favor of men who do anything not being called Passport Bros just because they did something that contributed to the downfall or detriment of a particular location. Everybody going to Pattaya, as an example, is not a Passport Bro. Everyone paying for the box is not a Passport Bro. That's not possible. Pattaya is too old for that. What is possible, though, is that because it's not gate kept, they will just be blamed for things that they didn't do wrong. And Abba said something. Now, Abba, I'm not going to jump on Abba, and I don't want anybody to get in my comments talking about, well, he's not FBA. It's not his job to be. He didn't claim to be. He's a tether. No, tethers lie about their origin. They either try to non-verbally deceive you into believing the wrong thing about their particular lineage within the black race, or they outright lied to you about it. So they try to leave you deceived, or they try to actively deceive you. An example of a tether is Johnny Somali. He's not Somali, he's Ethiopian. So he's trying to damage the image of both Somalis and African Americans, FBAs. But he's Ethiopian. Abba is Ethiopian. Now, within Ethiopia, everybody ain't the same. The Gurage have their own language. The Oromo have their own language. The Amhara have the language that is the official language of Ethiopia, aside from English. The Tigre and then the Tigraye, they also do. And then you've got, I think Soho is the name of one of the groups. Their language apparently is most closely, apparently Somali is the most closely related language to their language. So they're not all the same. I do want you guys to understand that what Abba did is not about his origin per se. But what Abba said was Uktfup because of where he lives now, not because of where his parents come from. Abba sat up and said that when you interview the Passport Bros, when you talk to them, they're all goofy and they're all lame. Abba, fuck the shuck up, bruh. Here's why I say that. In my culture or yours, do the women just openly tell you what they like? Or do you have to learn it over time? Who has the easier option to get someone of the opposite gender, the women or the men? Well, it's pretty much going to be the women, like it is in other places. So who's really goofy and lame when they can't pull it off? You don't even want your daughter to easily find one boyfriend after the other, after the other, after the other. You don't want that for her if you have a daughter, which is fine. So if these men are supposed to be out here just getting bitches, then what are you going to say when one of them zeroes in on your daughter or your sister? You don't get to sit up and say with a goofy and lame, and then when one of them then zeroes in on one of your lady relatives as part of his stable or his rotation, then all of a sudden you get mad. No, the nigga ain't goofy and lame. That's what it is. See, when you say that dumb shit, number one, you're letting women off the hook for communicating. No, we know they got mouths. We know women talk. They talk all the time. Why the hell don't they talk about what it is that they want, that they actually do want? Why the hell don't they talk about what women in general want and what is not men's fault? Why don't they do that? Why don't they talk about the games they play, the crap test, the strategies? Well, there's some that do, and other women come after them. Happy Wife School is doing that. If she wasn't so old, she's not that old, but if she wasn't old, you know how many women we coming after her and fighting her? Because she's still sending a message, you don't really need to reform like I did till you're old. No. Screw that. Now, she doesn't control when she was born, so I'm not blaming her for her age, obviously. But you let someone half her age get up and say the same things, and they will go and try to hunt that woman down. What I'm getting at, sir, is this. All men are going to be goofy and lame regarding women if the women don't want them, and the women don't want most men, so that's out. You're playing into the dating roaches and the game champions strategy. The problem with this strategy is that it still validates immature, childish-ass women acting half their age intellectually, and still dating men that have to be twice their age intellectually. What the hell are we doing? You already have a hell of a mismatch right there. If women can be hypergamous about height, money, muscle, everything else, at the very least, we could be egalitarian about intellect and maturity and wisdom. Oh, no. We're not. And you're sitting up and you're saying, well, if the men can't figure women out with all their secrecy, then it's the men's fault. Oh, my God. That's like saying that if I don't know top secret classified CIA secrets, then it's my fault. Nigga, what? Because that's how women treat these secrets. Now, do I want to expose them? Abso-goddamn-lutely. That's really outside of Black people realizing what the solution is for our people. That's really all I care about. Exposing exactly what the F women don't want men to know, what they want men to know but won't tell men, and any other secrets that you can think of. That's what I want. I'm seeking that. Yes, absolutely. But understand, because we know that there is this secrecy, you're not in a position to blame men for what the hell they don't know about women, because what woman is going to sit the men down and tell these men when they are young what the truth is that they need to know? You've had to deal with their secrecy and not know stuff. Things they didn't want you to know, and things that they wanted you to know but wouldn't tell you, and things they didn't want you to know and still couldn't respect you for not knowing. You had to deal with all of it. You're married. I think you said that you're married. I know Preach is. If I'm wrong about you being married, you still had to deal with it. You live in Canada. And if not Canada, you would have had to deal with it because because your parents would have had you in Ethiopia. Either way it goes, that's exactly what the hell would have happened. Because I know that as polite as Ethiopian women are, they're not always the most forthcoming. That I understand. Now, they generally are respectful towards their men until they get to the West and shit. I'm not going to lie. Gentlemen, I've seen Ethiopian women lose respect for their men within 3 years of arriving in the West. I'm letting y'all know that right now. It don't take long. 3 years. Sometimes 8. I've seen some of them. They'll get to the U.S. before their husbands do. And they're respectful while their husbands are in another country. And then the husband finally arrives and he's in the States with them. And they look at him and they're like, oh, you're lame. Huh? What are we doing here? Watch that happen. They don't get to the men, the men don't get to just do their part, try to be good husbands, communicating, and keep their wives once they move to the West. So, Abba, when you take on that position that you're taking, you are exonerating the women. And then not only that, but you lead to the presence of women like Ninja Robinson. See, right now we have an environment that creates Ninja. Now, I've shut up about her for several days, just remain silent so that we can see how this stuff plays out. Apparently, this has been going on since 2024. But what creates women like her? She's just the public display of it. But what creates women like her? The black gynocracy of the West, not the African American gynocracy, but the Western black diasporan, the Western African diasporan gynocracy of the Anglosphere Americas. And parts of our home continent create this stuff. That's what it is. And we got these game coaches. Now, there's usually a man to blame somewhere. I don't blame men for much except being too easy, but everything else falls under that umbrella. Manosphere Hall of Fame and I are both about blaming the men that are actually guilty. He believes regular men are. My belief is that if you're talking about being too easy, then yes, regular men are. Abba, you're too easy on them. You may not like certain games. You may hold women accountable for certain things, but you're still being too easy if you're going to sit up here and talk about their standards and men are actually okay. No, the hell they're not. We'd like for the women of our families to have standards in men, but that doesn't mean that the standards that many women have in the West are okay. No, they're not okay. They're hybristophilic. They're even hybristomaniac. They're mutually exclusive. They preclude each other. They unrealistic and unreasonable. The crap tests they have are not okay. They engage in gaslighting. And then the media just makes a big ass joke out of it. Julia Roberts held up some panties in some movie, I think it was, in front of a British male actor. And said, where did you get these? These were in the closet. He's like, well, the only woman that has been in here other than you is the landlady, and she couldn't wear those. And when she realizes that this man has not cheated, then she's like, okay, well, I just put them back on. You mean they're yours? And she's just like, she's trying to act like, oh, that's just okay. No, F that. That is not okay. Are you upset? Yeah, I'm supposed to be. They make light of this sort of stuff. The fact that, and this is a white woman to a white man. Now that's a movie depiction, but it's a movie depiction of a real phenomenon. You know how I know it's real? Well, not only did I grow up in the same environment, but Happy Wife School will sit up and tell you that it's real. What Happy Wife School on her channel is pretty much telling men is, we're evil as F, meaning women. She's pretty much saying we women are evil as F. And I'm here to admit this to you. And then when she realizes that Western men are saying, yeah, bitch, we know and we're out, then she's like, oh, it doesn't help if you go somewhere else. Well, that's not true all the time, but there are women that are working overtime to make it true. And they're now gaining ground in certain locations, like I said they would. And see, here's the thing. Getting back to you, Abba, because of that dumb shit you say, we got a bunch of old Ninja Robinsons in the States and in Canada, sir, and the UK, and in Jamaica, probably Guyana. Uh, Two Surinamese men have told me that you have it in Suriname too. So I mean, goddamn, bro. At what point does the crap stop? When is this going to be over? Well, it's going to be over when we stop validating their childishness. And when you say that the passport bros that you've interviewed are goofy and lame, well, granted, there may be things they don't understand about women, but who the fuck was keeping it a secret? For men to not understand women, women have to be busy keeping secrets, and they are. That's why men don't understand women. What man that is straight is interested in remaining ignorant and confused and deceived by women and about women, huh? We would never choose that voluntarily. So how the hell are we always ignorant and deceived and confused about women? Because they're keeping the truths a secret. Not secrets. They're keeping the truths a secret. Think of the truth as one big ass file and it's classified. And you're just not allowed to know these things. And your mom's just not allowed to tell you these things, and your sister's just not allowed to tell you these things, and neither's your grandmother. Now, they're allowed to interfere and tell you that woman's bad for you, but they're not supposed to go and find someone else for you anyway. And after they're done telling you that every woman's bad for you, you're supposed to figure out what the hell it is that they want for you. You can't, because if they won't tell you, they won't spell it out. And we know women can talk. They just can't tell the truth about what they want. They can't tell the truth about what value they see in men. So let's call that what the F it is. That's who they are. That's how they are. That's what they are. And you sitting here talking about some men being goofy because of what the hell they can't psychically and telepathically understand about these women. You an idiot, bro. What the F is wrong with you? Why would you even play into some dumb shit like that? We got a 33-year-old woman from the States catching a flight to Pakistan for a 19-year-old about the same age as probably one of her sons, if not both of them. They're grown and she's 33. At least one of them's grown and she's 33. What the F that tell you, man? Oh, now she Muslim and it's against her religion to tell her business after she done sat up and told all her other business? Oh, Ninja Robinson is crazy. And she's not the only one, Abba. What you don't understand is that by you sitting up here holding men to some standard of understanding women who make it a point to be not understood, you are pretty much saying, okay, oh Ninja, you're off the hook. Now, if you tell old Ninja Robinson that she's off the hook, you tell all these other women that they're off the hook. Because she's way out there. What you don't realize is that she's actually quite the norm in certain black communities, even black Muslim communities in North America. She ain't the only one like that where she came from. And I bet you it's Philadelphia. And they are the ones, it ain't the bras in most cases. They're the ones turning Memphis into Nickfus, Atlanta into Niglanta, New Orleans into Nig Orleans, Chicago into Nicago, and Philadelphia into Nigadelphia. Yeah, I said it. This is not how I view my people. This is how they view our people, and they will go to great lengths to make sure that they turn any environment into that. And if it gets any worse, I'll have to say the same damn names with a hard R in between. Because they are on a mission to prove the Ku Klux Klan correct. And you're sitting up here validating their taste in men and their interest and their standards. If you think passport bros are goofy and lame, probably because you see naivety in them about women, guess who the hell taught that to them? women like Oh Ninja. And the whole time, women like Oh Ninja are full of nothing but just nasty, filthy, stank, funky attitude and nig literacy. She just happened to catch a flight and get stuck somewhere and make the news. Don't get this twisted. When she makes the news in a place like in Pakistan, she hadn't made the news here in Saudi, but when she hits the news in Pakistan, they're going to look and see, okay, Black American woman. Then they're going to start to look and see Black women of other places act like this and say, this is how Black women are. And they're going to be talking about the race. They already don't see Black women as being suitable for marriage. Keep that in mind. They do not see Black women as being suitable for marriage because they're Black. And some of them think that this is a religious edict, even though it's not. They think it is. You've had books of jurisprudence written by some scholars who had no better sense when it came to race than a bale of hay. Oh, they were scholars about everything else until it came to that. There have been scholars in the past, this is a long time ago, but there have been scholars who believed that Black women don't need a wali for marriage, meaning somebody to vet the man. That if you marry a woman and then you find out she's Black after you marry her, there's grounds for a divorce. Oh, yeah, there have been cases like this. Now, these scholars were not correct, and this is now known that they were not. But where you have ignorance abounding, you have people who have heard stuff like this before. They probably haven't read the books, but they've heard this. And so then you got these sisters out here like Oh Ninja proving them right. And then the sisters later on get mad because of what they can't find. She done already had 2 Black sons. Now she wants to go and try to have a half Black baby with a 19-year-old talking about they're going to move to Dubai very soon with her nigga literate ass. I'm demanding this much money and don't worry about what I'm going to do with it. Mind your business. Go home. Have a nice day. She making Black female Muslims look bad. But one of the reasons she's able to do it is because when cats like you come along and validate their taste and their wants and their wishes, then you validate this notion that a man's worth can be found in the vagina of an overgrown child. She just has to have the body and physique of an adult woman, but her mind still gets to be that of a child. And okay, so the mind of a child, which controls the vagina, that validates the man, is considered worthy to validate the man? No. If her vagina is what it takes to validate a man's manhood, non-lameness and non-goofiness, then understand this. The mind behind that vagina now has to be sound and adult and sane. And we already know that they're not. So what that really means is, as I stated earlier, a man who can get a bunch of women in the West either has just a physique that is right or something else that is really wrong, or probably both. As a matter of fact, we already know Western women, they're looking for both. They don't only want the man to look a particular way, they want him to be devoid of morals and character. Unless they're looking for him to be the provider, stability. And we already know they punish that man. Shit, Happy Wife School said that too. Oh, we don't punish the bad boys, we punish the good men. And you want to sit here and act like they're some sort of source of validation for men? These passport bros that are goofy and lame, as you mean it, as you define it, might think that that's the case, and that therefore what they may do is turn around and try to go somewhere and try to find their validation in the vaginas of a bunch of different women they don't know, and therefore they pay a lot to play a lot, and they can ruin places like Sosua and Pattaya. That could happen, whether they're passport bros or not. But in order for any man to do that, he must still fall victim to the same notion your ass has. That's where the problem comes in. You still have come to understand that what you don't know about women and what you did not know about women at any point in your life was not your fault. Never was. You can't blame yourself for that. You've accepted to blame yourself for what you didn't know. So now you blaming other men for what they don't know. And that psychosis in you and in them will lead to trying to find validation in the wrong ways. And even those ways in which men will try to find validation will be ways that the women, it'll be ways that benefit them and don't benefit you. And it won't benefit them in the long run because they're not adults. They're just old enough to have the physique of an adult. They're not mentally adults. So even the benefits they get are short term. Oh, I got a new phone out the deal. And I didn't even give him no pussy. Girl, how do I do that? Well, you know what? By the time she gets them to understand how the hell she did it, she done dropped the damn phone 3 times, cracked the screen. It ain't what it used to be. Now she's got to sit up and try to find a way to get a new phone out of a new dude without screwing him. Or screwing him as little as possible. You can't win. How do you win with a mindset like that? And then you're going to turn around and try to justify that mindset. Well, these guys don't know about it. Of course, they don't know about women. So close your mouth, bro. Passport bros are goofy and lame. No, passport bros have been lied to by women. And they realize they've been lied to even if they don't know what all the lies are. Ain't no damn way I'm goofy and lame about women. Not anymore. Haven't been since I was little. I don't know everything there is to know about them. I damn sure want to learn it, not even so that I can go back in time or try to find more validation in the thighs of different women. No, that's not why. I want to learn it so I can tell you guys, and especially so I can tell young brothers so that they can just bypass all this stuff. Stuff through which we had to go, they can bypass it. No. You know what games women are going to play. You know the importance of understanding them and understanding the deceptions in which they engage, because if you don't understand it, they will turn around and undo everything else in your life that you work to build. Don't say they're not going to take half of everything. They won't marry you if they can't take half in a divorce. Know what they'll engage in. Why do you think Travis Hunter's girlfriend, Leanna Lene, wants to marry in Tennessee? Wait a minute. What divorce laws does Tennessee have? See, I bet you she'll sit up and say, I want to live in Tennessee too, so that those laws will be applicable when she leaves them. Because that's who the hell they are. It's what they are. It's how they are. And they never say these things. And you, sir, coming from the same continent from which I descend, know very well that as a whole, black women don't tend to show what the hell it is that they want. But let you just be violent. Let you be just that. And they will come creep up to your door at night and try to give you some. Don't say a mumbling word. I've seen it. Not only that, I've read about it going on back home. Sexually repressive cultures still have an abundance of women that will sneak into the sleeping quarters of the best wrestlers. Not the ones who can build bridges. Not the ones who can irrigate the crops and no, not those guys. No, the ones who can win the most wrestling matches. I don't blame them for wanting a man to be healthy as long as she wants to be healthy herself. What I'm looking at is that what I'm telling you is that for them, that which really matters doesn't matter. That's what I'm getting at. And this is on our continent. This is not just in the Americas where we were taken by force and broken and traumatized and de-Africanized. No, this is back home. What the fuck are we doing? I don't listen when Jamaicans start talking about we're the most African in the Western Hemisphere. You may or may not be. I don't really know. I don't assume that you are or that you're not. Here's why. Your women like Batman and Rude Boy. It's the same thing as Keisha talking about, I need a killer with some bodies. My pussy don't get wet for a nigga if he not gangster. It's the same thing, different accent, different dialect of English. That's it. This is the same damn thing. He need to have some tats, some baby mamas, and some bodies and felonies. The Jamaican woman will say the same thing in patois. With her hair dyed blonde. So, what the work are we looking at here? And you're going to sit up here and justify this and uphold this and, yeah, this is what we need to be doing. And yeah, this is, no, how about you close your damn mouth, bro? I don't care if you met a passport bro that's just big nasty, got no neck in the front and two in the back. Big old thick Coke bottle glasses and a patchy ass beard. I don't care if that's what you see. Close your damn mouth about what the hell he doesn't know about women. Because the minute he begins to really truly understand them, what the hell you think those women are going to do? They wouldn't say nothing about how he looks as long as he serves them and does not try to date any of them or marry any of them or demand to be treated equally to men that look the part they want. I mean, that's how these broads are. Okay, as long as you accept that your job is to give and never get, sexually or otherwise, never get, then okay, you good. The minute you start to demand to be treated even equally to how a woman of your SMV is treated, nigga, you no good rat bastard, red pill woman hating piece of shit. And you gonna validate what these bitches want. I don't care if a man is like what I just described. Man, you close your damn mouth because who the hell is going to tell him the secrets of women? Andrew Tate wouldn't tell you for free. These women are gaming each other up for free. You know they can't pay for this shit. They know. They game each other up from mother to daughter, grandmom to granddaughter, auntie to niece, sister to sister. If they don't like each other and they catty and envious of each other, they will still game each other up because they hate you more than they love themselves or even more than they hate each other. You know they don't like each other. We all know that. Why are they willing to still cooperate with women they hate just to make sure that you have a hard time with all of them? Because they hate you more, obviously, Abba. And you want to sit up here and call dudes goofy and lame because of what the hell they don't know about these secrets being kept? You created O Ninja. You participated in that. Even if she's older than you participated in the creation of that archetype. You were not born in, you didn't do it after you were born. You were born into their existence already, like the rest of us, but you decided to contribute to their further existence. This is a gender war we're in, Abba. I don't need to talk about the insanity and the nigg literacy of O Ninja. She's illiterate in her own language. It's only against her religion to tell her business when she doesn't want to, but she told the business. She lied about it, talking about who she married to because they never married. Talking about the baby they gonna have, but he ain't never stuck a dick in her. And that's one of the things I would say is that that's a good thing now. The family's making the right decision for the wrong reason. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. They're making the right decision, but they ain't making the right decision because it's right. You could take a white woman the same age as her, about as ditzy as her, and she gets off the plane to go. And I'm telling you, the family will be like, well, I mean, you know what? Go ahead. You can't really expect too much from women. I mean, look at her. You can't expect her to have all this good character and all that stuff. Look at her. She's too cute for all of that. Go ahead. So I'm going to tell you that about Pakistan. I'm not bigging up Pakistan and I'm not tearing it down. I've told you before, their culture is dysfunctional. It's about like ours, really. if y'all want to know the truth. There's some things in their culture that are more dysfunctional than in ours. And other things, other cases, it's the reverse. Would you say their family structure stable? Kind of. To a certain extent. Divorce is not, divorces happen there. What I can tell you is that you'll never have a young woman kidnapping a man to violate him. You'll never have that. But, older women, oh God, yeah. They've done that before. They just got to get old and still be single before they'll do it. And if that man can't keep wood, even though they kidnapped him, if that man can't keep wood enough to give all of them what they want, they'll beat him. So the first chick might get off on him. And then he can't keep it up for the second one. He's already a captive. They'll beat the snot out of him. It happened before. I'm not bigging them up, and I'm not going to tear them down when they're innocent either. What I am going to tell you, though, is that when it comes down to the dynamics between the genders, it's roughly about the same as what it would be anywhere else. They make marriage difficult. That's not Islamic. I don't want to hear about Islamic Republic of Pakistan. No, if that was the case, you make marriage easier. You promote it. They don't. They make it difficult. They show off. Every time somebody gets married, they want to make sure that nobody else has the confidence to try to get married again because they just show off as much as they possibly can. You got niggas trying to arrive at their weddings in a helicopter. What the F, man? Stop it. Fireworks and stuff. No, see. Porn consumption is at one of the highest consumptions of porn is there. However, Onidja went over there and made a fool out of her damn self. She can't stand to hear people speak Urdu, but she's in Pakistan. She's demanding all this money, but you better not ask her what she wants to do with it. Mind your business. I'm going to rebuild Pakistan. She can't. They can't. If they did, whoever's tried to do it would be assassinated by MI6. And she's talking about, I'm going to rebuild it. She thinks she's going to go over there and just change stuff because she's one American woman. That's not how it works. I'm getting sick and tired of seeing these broads act like this. Sick and tired of you all in North America having to deal with this, Abba. But you're going to have to keep dealing with this as long as there's someone like you that's going to sit up here and be willing to invalidate men for what they don't know on behalf of these broads. Like, even when you hold women accountable, if you invalidate the men for what they don't know, you still have let these broads off the hook when they were guilty. Yes, I'm telling you, hold the women accountable and leave the men off the hook, except for one thing, being too damn easy. And well, you know what? An absent man can't be easy or difficult. He's absent. Encourage those men to be absent from the West. What you need to tell those men is when you go somewhere else, don't try to play catch up because it's going to be bad for you and them. And it ain't your fault. You're not behind per se. You were just lied to. That's what you tell them. You tell them, look, you may have regular normal flaws, but man, the way you are, dude, it's not worse than other guys, or as a whole on average. You just don't know much about women. Sit back, learn them, and then look for good wives instead of trying to pay for play and play catch up. Don't do that. That's what you tell these men. Instead, you want to sit up and say, well, you're lame in North America, so you're going to be lame anywhere you go. Well, that might be true in Latin America because it's still the Americas. It's probably true. But I mean, you know what? Again, if you mess around and you go to a place like, you go somewhere where the culture is a bit more ancient, it may not be that way to the same extent now with TikTok everywhere. That's going to change. That will be true, but it wasn't true when these guys got started. Just because you're lame in the States, you're going to be lame everywhere. Everybody's lame in the States. But the only way to not be lame is to be able to read these bitches' minds and then not tell anybody what you read. Oh, yeah, read their minds, but don't tell on them. No, screw that. Tell them, if you can read their minds, rat them out. Because that's the right thing to do. Only way to not be lame in these bitches' minds is to look the way they want you to look, be able to read their minds, and still not say anything to anybody about what the hell they're hiding. Just cater to them. Read their minds and cater to them. And look the part they want you to look while you're doing it. Now you're not lame. How fair is that? Once you're responsible enough to provide for them and give them security and stability, you're lame. If these bitches get bored, the guy's lame, and they're going to get bored, and you got the nerve to sit up and play right along into this. No wonder there are so many ninjas. You did that. It existed when you were born, but you decided, okay, I'm going to contribute to keep it going. Here we go. And you didn't have to, because you don't come from that kind of cultural reference. There was a time when in Ethiopia, there was a time, probably when you were a little kid in Canada, there was still a time when if a guy didn't just understand women, you know what, it didn't make him lame or less of a man. They didn't treat him like that. There was that time. Now it's like, no, if you don't understand women in some, in the big cities, they're acting the same way because they see TikTok where you don't understand women. Of course I don't, bitch. You don't explain yourself. Well, you're lame. Oh, God, of course. I think the word is jalama in the Amharic language. I don't know what language your parents speak of, but the word jalama is like a word, at least it was. It was a slang term that kind of meant lame. But that wasn't applied to a man because he couldn't read women's minds. It had more to do with men that just had no confidence and were always nervous. And frankly, for men to be just nice and soft-spoken when they first meet somebody was considered to be okay. There was a time when Ethiopian women preferred virgin men. Imagine that. So with that being said, I hope that this helps out. I recorded a much longer version of this, but I'll leave that as an option for you guys to see if you all tell me in comments that you want to hear the longer version. I already recorded it before this one, but I might just make it available only on Buy Me a Coffee. Yeah, I think that's going to be the fair option. That way, it's something reserved only for my subscribers that paid. And if they don't want to hear it for an hour, they don't have to. It's an option. But I think I'll do that. But yeah, Avi, you created this, man. You did this. I mean, I'm sorry, not created, but you contributed to this. You continued it for another generation. You're not the only one to do it. You're the public display of it. Onija's not the only one to be Onija. Onika, but she's the public display of it. With a baboon hyena ass. And I don't like to have to talk about a Muslim woman like this. I really hate to do that, but she chose to make this a public thing. She insisted on it because she'll record herself. And then when she's talking to the camera, she'll purse her lips, roll her neck, and look up and down as if like she's looking at a person she wants to fight because she just has to have all this nigga attitude. Of course she feels like that because no matter how mentally unstable her ass is, you're sitting here telling men that validation comes from these type broads, and she was able to find 2 men to stick a dick in her and make her a baby mama twice. She ain't supposed to be able to find no sexual relief on a living penis. Just like there are men that don't qualify, and you would admit that, or there are women that don't qualify. When are you going to say something about women like her? And what they should never get. And what they should have to resort to get off until they get their minds right. You may not realize this, but even when you hold women accountable, you turn around and you start blaming men for stuff that they don't know about women. What you don't realize is that you, even if you don't have daughters, you are making it to where the next generation of daughters will just be spoiled like Onija. to the point that they could be mentally unstable and insane. They can get a dick though. Because you're training dudes to think like that. Now, should we? No, we should not. But you didn't contribute to men knowing that they should not. You contributed to men thinking that they should. I got to come along and tell these men, hey, look, guys, gentlemen, you don't need to be trying to chase no trim. You're never going to catch up with these thoughts in terms of fornication. You can't catch up. It's not your fault. I'm the one trying to tell them this. You want to come along and undo it. Say, no, see, you need to get out there and get some pussy or something's wrong with you if you can never get any. And like these women are normal. No, the fuck they're not. Hell, when they're normal, they stay at home because they've been trained to think that they're just too good for anybody. Because the hyenas tell them that too, and they fall for it. They're giving the princess, Disney princess fairy tale idea that they should be able to just stay at home and men will just come lining up outside the door. No, it's not how that works. They still got to know you exist. The fact that they fell for the deception of the hyenas is why you got accountable commentary saying, no, all Keishas, because even he said himself, if you find a good Keisha, by that time you're broke in and you're in a padded room. AC doesn't say that they can't possibly exist. He says you ain't gonna find them. If you can find her, she's a problem. And you pretty much are making that true, Abba. So close your damn mouth. As I stated, the only thing these men have done wrong is be too goddamn easy. And even that's something they had to be taught to do. So every time we see something about, oh, Ninja, know that she's a problem. She's showing the world a whole lot. Know that that's true. Know that that is. But also know that you got men encouraging men to stay too goddamn easy, which is why you have them. You got ninjas everywhere, all throughout Niggadelphia, New York. Y'all said it. When you see him, know that the gynocracy is training them this way, but that also there are enablers who are telling men to remain too easy because they want to spoil their daughters, or they really think that they have less worth and value intrinsically than women, or a combination of the two. Whatever the hell it is. Doesn't even goddamn matter. Men are too easy, and these men are out here telling men to stay too easy. Got old niggas like Leonard Roy talking about these young niggas need to get out there and get them some pussy. Well, that requires chasing, sir, and the very act of chasing, it's in and of itself, is only going to go to their heads and cause more problems. I don't even say this out of hatred for Leonard, but good God Almighty, man. Getting it requires chasing it. I'm not saying that women should be easy except to their husbands, but you're overlooking the fact that the very pursuit is going to break men. That's what AC was right about. Pursuing them is going to break men, especially pursuing Keisha. And you got these men that have enough sense to say, I'm not pursuing them. They're not honest enough to pursue them. Shuck this fit. I'd be an idiot to pursue them. I'm not doing that anymore. Get your ass out my goddamn way. I'm not chasing shit, dumbass. You're lame. You're goofy. I'm not goofy. I know they're not going to come up to me. Lame? I guess I am lame because to the women, most men are lame right off the bat. If more of us became like Jeremy Meeks, then Jeremy Meeks would be lame because these women are they're always going to call more men lame than attractive, period. And once you're not attractive, you're lame or you're invisible. Those are the two options. I hope this explains it again. I hope I tied it together very well for you all listening. Thank you for listening. And as always, black heart, black mind, blackout, assalamu alaikum, black heterosexual, non-select male power because they don't like in a black patriarchy until extinction of Judgment Day. Thank you for flying with us again here on Jet Black Airways, where the phrase jet black is also a verb. Keep jetting black with us till the wings and the wheels fall off. Gender justice forever.